Happy Monday, good morning everyone. Going Facebook Live here, Jackie from TBA Law is my name. And this week I wanted to talk about what the cost of a will is. So there can be a lot of perceptions about what a will costs. And I did a blog post in 2015 actually about this. And so this is, I suppose, a little bit of an update. Asking what's the cost of a will is almost like asking, well, what's the cost of a house? There's a huge variety and it depends on a lot of different circumstances. We try to standardise our fees as much as possible, and we also try to make sure that we include a lot of value when someone comes in and does their will. So we also do powers of attorney, we look at super and do binding death benefit nominations, we do advanced healthcare planning, guardianship appointments, all of these things we look at. Yet still, the stats are that around 50% of adults in Australia don't have a will. And I know that it's on the list of things to do for a lot of people, but it really is important, and I just don't understand why it's not prioritised. It's an easy thing to do. Or our process is easy. You know, we've got a 5-step process. It's 2 appointments and it's done. We walk you through. You have very little preparation prior because, you know, we've got the experience to walk you through and get what we need from you. So back to the cost then. If people are put off doing their estate planning because of the cost, this is what this video is about today, because it is cheaper for you to do your estate planning than not. If you pass away without a will, or if you try and do a will yourself and it ends up being invalid or not exactly what you want, roughly it's going to cost your estate an extra $3,000 in legal fees. Okay? That is if you don't have a will, and so people have to step in and become the administrator. If you don't have a will, you don't have a choice about who that ends up being. Or if you try and make a will but it's invalid, it's actually harder to get an invalid will across the line sometimes than helping someone out who actually did not even have one. Oh, James has jumped on. How are you? Happy New Year. So that's the first point. If you're not doing your estate planning because of the cost, it's not a good reason not to. The cost of your estate planning is going to be less than the cost of your annual household insurance, right? You pay your insurance every year without question. But with your estate planning, it's going to last you at least 5 years. If not potentially 20 years, one-off cost, right? So that the cost is less than that. So if I just go through a couple of different options on the different costs of estate planning, you'll get a bit more of an understanding. So firstly, will kits. Yes, if you read them and follow the instructions, they are valid. Yes, they are appropriate in some circumstances. A will kit, you know, you can pick them up for less than $50 usually. Sometimes they're given away free as an incentive when you buy some insurance. So then I'm not against them completely, but I'm not for them when you have superannuation, when you have minor children, because your situation's just too complex to be dealt with. So a will kit can be a good idea. If it's a single person, if they're a pensioner, all those sorts of things. Online wills are available as well. So you're looking probably at around $150 to find an online will. When you're doing a will online, it asks you a number of questions to walk you through, and you can enter the details, and then it produces the will as a PDF document, which you then have to print and go and get signed. In a way, it's similar to a will kit, but it guides you through a couple of steps, which the will kit does if you read it properly, but a lot of people don't read it. So again, I'm not opposed to wills online. However, they don't, there's no solicitor who reviews them. They're just standard questions that don't take into account any complexity. Then finally, obviously helping a solicitor through the process, helping you through the process to do your will is the other option. Now, the fees vary from firm to firm, and that's why I really encourage people to do their research. You can get a pensioner will or a very, very simple basic will still between $250 and $350, right? That doesn't include your powers of attorney and things on top of that. So that's what you're looking at for a will. House and contents insurance, every year significantly more than that. Very few people are suitable for a simple will. Again, people without super, blended families aren't suitable for a simple will. People with minor children aren't suitable for a simple will. People with a family trust aren't suitable for a simple will. Or people who own property, some jointly with their spouse and some not jointly with their spouse. So with different asset classes, I guess, is easier to say, aren't suitable for a simple will. So then you're looking at a more complex will, right? So a more complex will probably starts at about $500, and then you add powers of attorney onto that as well. Complex wills, sometimes they include trusts as well. So the cost can be up to $750 for a will if it includes costs and things like that. Now these are our general costs. So again, it is important to do your research. Remember that it's preferable to go to a specialist if you can, rather than a standard general practice lawyer who does a variety of things. And if you look up specialists, either through the Law Institute or the New South Wales Law Society, you'll find a variety, obviously, a lot of them in Melbourne. Look at their prices. Sometimes you're penalised by going to a specialist in the city because they've got higher outgoings, right? So the costs are generally higher. So you can get the same sort of service even over a variety of fees. So what's the cost of a will? It's like asking what's the cost of a house. There's so many options and varieties of situations. So I do encourage people to do their research into their lawyer, look on their websites, look on their LinkedIn profiles, look through their state law society to find out whether they're accredited or not. And then also put the cost of your estate planning in perspective, because you do it once every 5 years, sometimes once every 20 years, so you only have that one-off cost, whereas you have ongoing costs in a lot of other areas in your life. So, having gone on a little bit of a rant, I hope that that does explain things for you. If not, you are welcome to personal message or direct message me through Facebook, or on our website you can find our admin email or my direct email address. You're quite welcome to do either of those things. So I'm going to sign off again, and I'll see everyone live again next Monday for our small information sessions.